So we have 6 divided by 1 over 3. So 6, we automatically know that it is 6 over 1. Then we multiply by 3 over 1. We have 6 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1. Okay, I see I have 1 over 18, 1 over 12, and 1 over 18, and 18 over 1. Alright, remember we have 6 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1. Okay, so blessing is correct. Remember we convert the second fraction. Sorry, we invert the second fraction. Because we have a whole number which is 6 and we first put it into a fraction which is 6 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1, which will be 6 multiplied by 3, it is 18. 1 multiplied by 1 equals 1. So the answer will be 18. 18 over 1 is the correct one. Alright. So let's look at number 3. We have 1 over 10 divided by 2. We have 1 over 10 divided by 2. Okay, I see 20 over 1 and 1 over 20. Alright, so we have 1 over 10 multiplied by 1 over 2. 1 over 10 multiplied by 1 over 2. So we'll have 1 over 20. That's the correct one. Okay, number 4. Number 4, we have 6 divided by 1 over 3. We have 6 divided by 1 over 3 for number 4. So it will be 6 over 1 multiplied by 3 over 1. It is the same one as number 2. Right? It is the same one as number 2. Okay. So let's look at number 5. Let us look at number 5. We have 5 divided by 3 over 4. The correct answer is 18 over 1, people. Okay, not 1 over 18. For number 4, it is the same as number 2. Because you have 6 multiplied by 3, which is 18, and you have 1 multiplied by 1, which is 1. So the correct answer for number 2 and number 4 is 18 over 1. Okay, because I see a lot of people having 1 over 18. It is 18 over 1. Alright, so we're looking at the last one, number 5. So we have 5 divided by 3 over 4. So automatically 5, it is 5 divided by 1. You multiply by 4 over 3. So 5 multiplied by 4, that's 20. And 1 multiplied by 3, that's 3. So we have 20 over 3. So you have 20 over 3. And you do the mixed fraction. You must be in a mixed fraction because it is an improper number. So you ask yourself, how many times does 3 go into 20? Goes 6 times, right? Goes 6 times, and what is the remainder? Or you say 3 times 6, it is 18. What is the remainder from 20? It is 2, so that will be your numerator. So the correct answer will be, you have a whole number 6, and the fraction will be 2 over 3. Okay. Alright, so number 6 to number 10 is going to be your homework, because I want us to look at today's work, right? Number 6 to number 10 will be your homework, right? Now let's look at today's work. So today we are looking at percentages, right? So you will express fractions as percentage and also express percentage as fraction. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to do both. Express the fraction as a percentage and the percentage as a fraction. All right. Okay, so how do we do this? How do we convert the fraction to a percentage? All right. Okay. So you are given 3 over 4 and you are asked to convert it to a percentage. Okay. So what you do, you know that 3 over 4 is basically 3 divided by 4, right? And now for us to be able to get the correct number, we need to use the long division, right? We need to use the long division because we are dividing 4, sorry, we're dividing 3 by 4. And we already know that 4, sorry, 3 cannot be divided by 4, okay, because 4 is bigger than 3. So what we do, if you're looking here on the side, on the right side, if you're looking here, when we're using our long method, we'll write our 3 and 4 and we write the decimal and add 2 zeros, right? We'll write the decimal and add 2 zeros. Okay, so what we do is we ask how many times is 4 going to 3? It doesn't, it doesn't. So we either write a 0 or we don't write anything. All right, and then we add the 0. So we ask how many times does 4 go into 30? Because now we have added the 0. How many times does 4 go into 30? It goes 7 times, right? It goes 7 times and you multiply 7 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28 and you subtract the 28 from 30. Remember we said when we were doing the place value in division long method, remember I think it was last week, we said you must place each number neatly beneath the place value, right? So now we have 28 and we subtract 28 from 30 and we are left with 2. We write down 2 and then we bring down the 0, right? And then we ask how many times does 4 sorry, how many times does 4 go into 25 times? And we say 5 multiplied by 4 equals to 20 and we subtract the 20 from 20 and the answer is 0. So there on top, that's our answer. The answer will be 75%. That is how we convert the fraction to a percentage. Okay, so you have 3 over 4 equals to 75%, right? Remember we said with the decimal, when we're doing decimals, remember we said after the decimal point, the first number represents the 10 and the second number represents the 100, right? So that is why we now have 75%. Okay, right. Okay, I think all the steps, all right, so this was just to, I've already explained, this is just to give it more in detail, all right? So the first step is divide the denominator into the numerator, which we've already done that, and we saw that it doesn't work. Okay, then we decided to use the long method division, all right? The long division method, sorry, the long division method. And then we saw that, okay, it could actually work. We can divide 4 if we add zeros into the 3. But we must always remember to put the decimal point. We must always remember to put the decimal point and add the 2 zeros. Okay. All right, this is exactly what we've done on that previous slide. All right. Please switch off your cameras, otherwise you will be kicked out of the class. All right, so we had 3 over 4 and we used long method. We said, okay, 4 divided into 3. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's put a decimal point and add 2 zeros. 4 divided in, 4 goes into 30 how many times? 7 times, and 7 times 4 is 28. We subtract 28 from 30 and the answer is 2. You bring down the 0 and you have 20. You ask again how many times, how many times does 4 go into 20? It goes 5 times, and say 5 multiplied by 4. The answer is 20. You subtract the 20 from 20 and your answer is 0. There's no remainder. So there on top, that's your answer, 75%. Right? That is how we convert. Okay? So move the decimal 2 places to the right and change the decimal to a percentage sign. Right? After you have converted everything and you have your 0.75, what you do is you write your answer as a percentage, which is now 3 over 4 equals to 75%. Okay? All right, now let's try this exercise. We write the percentage as a fraction in the simplest form. You write the percentage as a fraction in its simplest form. So you are given 51%. How do you then change it to a fraction? You are given 51%. How do you change it to a fraction? Oh, okay, there's a question. Why does the denominator come first? Okay, the denominator in the, I assume you're asking in the long division. Okay, the reason we are writing 4 first, it is because it is the number we are dividing by, right? We had 3 over 4, and 4 is the denominator, which is, it is the divisor. It is the number that we are dividing by. So in a long method division, the number that you are dividing by, it is on the outside. It is the number that we start with on the outside. And on the inside, we write the number that we are dividing. Okay, so that is why we started with 4. I hope I am answering your question. I hope your question is answered. So, ma'am, for example, 4 over 5, which means 4 divided by 5, that's correct. Then you will use the long method. Then you will use the long method. You have 4, and then you write 5 inside. How many times does 4 goes into 5? Once, and then you write your 1 on top, right? You write your 1 on top, and you ask 1 times, and then you say 1 multiplied by 4, it is 4. You subtract 4 from 5, and you are left with 1. You write your 0, you bring down the 0, you ask again, how many times does 4 go into 10? You write, it goes twice, right? Then you write twice 2 on top, and then you say 2 multiplied by 4, it is 8, right? And then you bring down a 0. Again, remember we said you must write the decimal point and you must have 2 zeros. Okay, so that is how you convert the fraction. All right, let me look at the answers. Okay, I have for 1, it's 51%, and Mushava says it's 1 over 2. Okay, for 2, 1 over 4, that's correct. And for 3, 4 over 5, that's correct. Okay. All right. Okay, for 2, I see people have the answer for 2 and number 3. 4 over 5 for number 3 is correct, and 1 over 4 for number 2 is correct. Okay, it cannot be 1 over 5 because it is 51%. If it was 50 on the dot, then it would have been 1 over 2. But because it is 51%, so it will be 51 over 100. Okay, it will be 51 over 100. Right, let's move on to our next slide. All right, so here you have the fraction as a percentage. You are writing the fraction as a percentage. You have for number 1, 11 over 20, and number 2, 4 over 25. Number 3, you have 5 over 100. All right, 3 is 5%. That's correct. 3 is 5%. But what about number 1 and number 2? Okay, I have 19%. Okay, what part don't you understand? I see I never understand math 1. Oh, you're referring to this sum here, number 1. 11 over 20. That's correct, JD. Number 1 is 55%. Number 1 is 55%. I don't know how people got to 19%. We have 55%. Remember, for us to be able to get to 100, how do we get to 100? All right, we have 11 over 20, so therefore you multiply it by 5 over 5. 11 multiplied by 5 equals 55, and 20 multiplied by 5 equals 100. So if it is easy for you to convert 5 over 100, because already it is in its 100th place, now it will be easy for you if you first convert your fraction to be equal, the denominator to be equal to 100, and then it will be easy to convert from the fraction to a percentage. So that's how we got number 1, or use the long method, or just change your fraction to be 100. Then it will be easy to change to to a percentage. So 55% for the first one is correct, and for the second one, JD again, 16%, that's correct. We have 16. You understand now. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you understand now, little Kushe. 16% yes. Second one is 16%. Okay. Now let's move on. I still have another exercise. Okay, I think this class is going to end quickly than I anticipated. So now here we have the percentages, and please write them as fractions. Write the percentages as fractions, and when we write our answers, let's start with number 1. Please, let us start with number 1. We have 20%. Can we convert that to a fraction? We have 20%. Can we convert that into a fraction? So this is 1 over 5, 20 over 100. All right, 20 over 100 and 1 over 5 are correct, just that the 20 over 100 is written into a simplest form. So if you divide 20 over 100 by 20, you will have, by 20 over 20, you will have 1 over 5. All right, so it is written in the simplest form. Thank you so much. So 1 over 5 is correct for number 1. Can we move to number 2? We have 25%. Maclody says 1/4. JD 1/4. All right, thank you. Yes, that's correct. 25% equals to 1/4. Thank you so much for that. And then we have 36%. We have 36%. What is the answer for number 3? 36%. Okay, I see we have 9/25. Right, we have 9/25. Okay, that's correct. It is written in the simplest form. 9/25 is correct. Okay, so let's move to number 4. Let's move to number 4. 2/5, that's correct. 2/5 is correct. Because 40/100, 40/100 is the 40%. Then it is written in the simplest form, and then it is 2/5 when you divide by 20. Okay, now let's move to number 5. Four over 5 is the correct one. Thank you, Michelle. 4/5 is correct. And also let's look at number 6. We have 64%. We have 64%. Right, I'm just waiting for others to answer. Right, it is 16/25, written in the simplest form. It is 16/25. Alright, because we have divided by 4. 64/100 divided by 4/4, you will get 16/25. Alright, for number 7, answer is 1. 1/1, 100/100, which is 1, 1, the whole number. 1/1, yes, that's correct. Everyone is correct. We have 1 or 1/1 or 10/10 or 20/20. That's correct. We have a special form of 1 for number 7. Right, let's move to the last exercise. This is our last exercise for today. Alright, so now we are writing fractions as percentages. We are writing these fractions as percentages. We have 20/50 for number 1. Okay, I see 20% and I also see 40%. I'm going to wait for others to answer, then I'll give my answer. Alright, my Claudia also says 40%. Alright, 40% is the correct answer. 40% is the correct answer because we have 20 over 50. So 40% will be correct because remember we said it must be multiplied to 100. The denominator must be 100 so that you are able to get the correct percentage. Alright, let's move to number 2. 50%, that's correct. 50% for 15 over 30. We have 50%. That's right. Then let's move to number 3. Let's move to number 3. We have 20 over 60. Number 3, we have 20 over 60. Okay, I see 40%. I see 30%. I see 52%. We are with number 3. I see 33%, 30%, 45%. I see 52 and 30. Okay, so we have different answers for this one. So we have different answers. Okay, right. All right, so the correct one will be 33.3%. Or it will be 33%. 33% is the correct answer. Right? 33% will be the correct answer. Because if you look at 20 over 60 and you put it in its simplest form, it is 1 over 3. You have 1 over 3. So if you convert 1 over 3 to a percentage, it is a third. It is a third of 100%. So that a third of 100% is 33%. So the correct answer is 33%. So we are at number 4. We are at number 4. I have 51%, I have 52%, 52%. Okay, 52% is the correct one. 52% is the correct one. Alright, because if you put this into its simplest form, we have 26 over 50, you will have 13 over 25. Simplest fraction, it will be 13 over 25, right? Then you multiply that by 4, or you can even multiply it by 2, multiply 26 over 50 by 2 over 2, you will have 52 over 100. So that is how you get your 52%, right? Number 5 is the easiest, and we have 50%. All right, let's look at the last one. We have 32 over 60. We have 32 over 60. All right, I see 54%, 50, 53, 36. I see 55. All right, the correct answer is 53%. The correct answer is 53%. All right, remember 30 is a half of 60. So 30 would be 50%. But now we have 32 over 60. So the answer will be 53%. Alright, I hope we are using the long method and not just typing this on the calculator, because it is easy to get it from the calculator, but you must also practice the long division method so that you'll be able to get your answers correctly and you will be able to check, right? You will be able to check using the multiplication after you have done the long division. All right, I'm hoping we're not just punching on the calculator, but also we are writing down the long division method. Okay. All right. All right. That's it from me for today. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Um, we finished early today by 7 minutes. So enjoy, and keep safe. Stay home. Thank you so much for joining us once again. So please remember to do your homework, the one that I gave for division earlier on, the one on slide 1. Okay, so please, I'll see you Monday. Please keep safe.